like it's not sealed from just over there. Gravel road, okay. So I'm going really slow because I can feel the gravel on the front wheel, and this is the wrong type of bike to bring on a road like this, so I'm just going to take it nice and slow on here, of course. So it's a beautiful day today, no wind, very very loose gravel on this road, so just gonna putt along here. So yeah, my childhood, my younger years, I've made comment before that I've been riding motorbikes for 34 years. Well, that's on the road. I started off a couple of years before that out here, on farms and things like that. Yeah, so this gravel is very, very loose. So just take it nice and slow. Now, that looks familiar. So, I might even take the camera off the helmet. Which I did, but for some reason the microphone in the camera wasn't picking up any audio with the lapel mic unplugged. So anyway, I headed up the hill. At the top of the ridge there's a wooden fence structure that was never there, nor was any of this, even though that looks old and licheny. I'm remembering back 37 years, back to 1978. And my helmet's not going to sit there, it's not going to work, so I'll put it on the fence post just over here. You see how old and licheny that fence is? None of that was ever there, and this fence line that I'm walking across, that was never there, and I'm pretty sure that track down below going up the valley, that was never there back in 78. So this is Strawn's cave. And the Strawn family immigrated out here in 1851, and my father used to play here when he was a kid, and he told me that around there used to be musket holes where they could poke their muskets through and defend the door. Now the Strawn family were never attacked, but they dug this cave by hand to take refuge during the Maori Wars in the 1850's. Now in this area here, the men folk would sleep there and they could defend through there with muskets, and the women and children would sleep through there. So as I say, the Strawn family were never attacked here, and just as irony would have it, the day that I'm actually doing this is Waitangi Day, which commemorates the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840. And it's completely by coincidence that I did that on that day. It was just a beautiful day. That hole there is a last point of defence through there. There's a dog leg. It's almost like a hidden passage round to the right there, which gets round there. And I've grown a bit since I was here last, back in 78. I can't get through. Well, probably could get through, but I just didn't want to squash through. But that terminates just round there to the left, and I last stood back there in 1978, which incidentally is the year my wife was born, so it's kind of funny. But this is Strawn's cave, immigrated to New Zealand in 1851, so that was 165 years ago, to take refuge during the Maori Wars, and as I say, they were never attacked. Looking out over this valley, a few changes there. Fences weren't there, of course. Pretty sure that track down below wasn't there. So a lot of history here. Very old cave. Getting on towards 160 years old, perhaps. Looks like a head on a peak over there, but no, that's my helmet. So we'll head back down the hill, and I'll get everything plugged back in again to my helmet and the lapel mic in my helmet, and we'll carry on. Right, so this is going to be interesting turning around on this stuff. Keys are good. So there's some big changes there. Style was never there. Used to get yelled at from the house over here back in the day. I don't remember that track back there either. Wasn't a fence there. Whatever that is up top there wasn't there. Feel the front wandering in the gravel there. Oops. Yeah, so the Strawn family immigrated out here in 1851. That cave was dug by hand as a refuge for the family during the Maori Wars in the 1850's. The family were never attacked there, so that's good. And it's completely by coincidence that today's Waitangi Day, commemorating the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840, just happens to be a nice day, so I've ended up coming out this way. Been meaning to come out this way for a long time. And this feels like riding on ball bearings. Very loose gravel. And I can feel the front travelling on the loose grip. So always got to look after the front. No hard braking, which might be a little bit hard because this has got dual combined braking. If I even touch the rear brake, some of the front brake will come on. So so I was actually travelling down that camber on the gravel. So the completely wrong type of road for this bike, these tyres. But here we are, we're out here, we're doing it. All of these country roads, when I was a kid, my brother and I would just wander for ages and ages and ages, and over there is a creek. All of the creeks and the streams through all the farmland all around this district, we just follow them for hours and hours and hours, just wandering along, following the streams. What a beautiful day, no wind. And because I'm going so slow, I've got no air moving through the vents in my armoured clothing, so I'm warming up a little bit. But we'll hit the seal again shortly, and we can get the speed up a little bit. So we want no speed, no momentum on this stuff, because, you know, going around this bend around here, the gravel's loose under my front wheel, so, you know, I can feel it wandering and travelling on the loose stuff. And in coming out here, I asked both my sons if they wanted to come for a ride to have a look at the caves, and I asked my wife. Nobody was really interested, and it's sort of probably a good thing, because having a pillion on this loose stuff is probably make things a little bit awkward. I've had a couple of funny spots where, you know, going around a tight camber back there, the bike was sort of travelling down the camber, and I can feel it travelling on, you know, sideways a little bit, just wandering a little bit in the gravel. A beautiful day. So this is rural Okoia, just out of Wanganui, and I lived here from, I think, 1978 to, I think, possibly 1982, when the house burnt down. And we'll go past the old site where the house was. And there's the seal. Whole lot different on proper seal than riding a sport bike on gravel. So there we have it. There's the old school over there. That used to be the school, and I used to walk past here to school or go across the paddock. And all of these hills around here, this was all my stomping ground as a kid. So that was Strawn's cave. It's quite an historic place. Family history there in New Zealand goes back to 1851, 165 years ago. It's January 2016, that's our old place there. Our house was in the foreground there. John Newton, the TV presenter, he lived in there, probably still does, I don't know. But so Strawn's Cave was an historic place, and also at the top of this hill just here, where behind that stand of trees, there's an old stand of pine trees. Just up there's what looks like the ancient Kumara pits. I think that was an old pass site up there looking out over this valley. And there's big pits in there. So that's an historic place up the top there as well. And that was my friend's farm. All this farm around here was my friend's farm. And as I said in the last video through here, none of these trees were here. In fact, we built a tin shack on top of that hill there, which is no longer there anymore. But yeah, all this area here is basically where I learnt to ride a motorbike as a kid. Yeah, up there, there's dips like this, like old Kumara pits and the like, up there. So I think that up there was an old pass site looking out over this valley, surveying this whole area. So there's a bit of history up there as well. In this area, used to ride motorbikes all around here. That we used to call that Box Gully. It's like our little motocross track down there. Yeah, that forest wasn't there, of course. Higgy's place here. Used to spend a lot of time up here. And in that school photo, 1979 school photo, the Elwoods, Kelly and Graham, they used to live over here. And I've said previously, all of this was just shrubs back in those days. It's funny when you get to an age when you can see well-established trees, you know, that look like they've been there for donkey's years. But I can remember when there wasn't. I think that's Blink Bonnie airstrip out there.